Howdy howdy, and welcome to the Tea Weasel. I am Taylor. Today, we'll be looking at...
I have come to get you, Connor O'Malley.
That's right, you guessed it. 2016's A Monster Calls. Just a quick disclaimer. If you are a crier, you're going to cry a lot during this movie. And if you're not a crier, you're still probably gonna cry. For this movie, I'm going to be making a spruce tip tea. Why spruce tips? Well, I'll tell you in just a moment. Real quickly, I want to give a quick shout out to my favorite YouTube channel, Cinema Therapy. I absolutely love their channel so much, in fact, that when Alan Seawright, professional filmmaker, said he was making a short film and he started a Kickstarter to help back it up, I immediately went to go donate. And because of the amount of money I donated, I gotta pick a movie. And the movie I picked...
I have come to get you, Connor O'Malley.
That's right, you guessed it, A Monster Calls. Because I love watching grown men cry. I cried myself. Plus, it's also just a really fantastic movie. Now, let's dive into the tea, because it's tea time. For this pairing, you can use any type of tea. I personally am going to go with a non-caffeinated green tea. That is because green tea is one of the healthiest teas for you, and since it's decaffeinated, it won't keep you up at night, because when you're sick, you need your rest. The reason for the spruce tips is spruce tips grow on trees, much like most fruits, and are very high in vitamin C. The tree in A Monster Calls is a yew tree. And since I am a fan of living, I decided not to ingest any of the berries, so I won't die, because they're extremely poisonous. I have here some spruce tip jelly that my sister in Alaska made and sent me. So what I am doing is sipping my tea bag for 3 minutes and just adding a small spoonful of the tea jam and stirring it in until it's nice and homogeneous and all smooth like. Make sure you use your favorite wooden mug, or at least your favorite mug if you don't have a wooden one, to get the best health benefits. Whichever mug you use, just make sure it is spoiler proof, because we are about to talk about this movie. The movie follows a young boy named Connor, and his mom is dying, probably of cancer, judging by the treatment and symptoms she's experiencing. Connor, being just a boy, has a lot of feelings about this, and doesn't really have anyone or any way to express them.
It's okay to feel sad sometimes.
Until a monster calls. The aforementioned yew tree turns into a giant monster that I called Groot's dad. Jonathan, in the Cinema Therapy episode, called him Treebeard, and I think that's even funnier. Treebeard is voiced by Liam Neeson. There's even a photo of Liam Neeson in the background of a movie, but it does imply that Liam Neeson is Connor's grandpa or his mom's dad. The monster tells Connor that he's going to tell him 3 stories.
You're going to tell me stories?
Each one of these stories are in this beautiful watercolor palette, and I absolutely love it, mostly how they tie it in with Connor's real life later in the movie. Connor's dad lives in America and doesn't necessarily not want Connor around, but is worried about his quality of life if he moved to America with him, which upsets Connor because it makes him feel like he's unwanted because he has a new family in the United States. So Connor ends up living with his grandma, played by Sigourney Weaver. And this is the first time I've ever seen Sigourney Weaver actually play a role with like a lot of depth, and not just being a total and complete badass, which she does great. But oh boy, seeing her like actually get to do full range of acting, crying, upset, broken, just blew my mind. But after seeing this movie, she went from like a 8 to a solid 9.5. After the 3 stories the monster tells Connor, it is time for Connor to tell his story. And if you hadn't cried yet during this movie, this is a time you will. Because it came time to do the easiest hard thing. Speak the truth.
Yeah, tell me, Connor. Tell me the truth.
Please don't kill me if I do!
It will kill you if you do not.
No!
Speak the truth.
No!
The truth, Connor O'Malley. Tell me the truth, boy.
No!
Speak the truth. the truth! Speak the truth! Speak the truth, boy!
I wanted to be over!
The truth for Connor was he wanted it to be over. He was tired of seeing his mom suffering and being sick. He wanted her to die, but didn't want her to be gone. And the monster handles it perfectly, being there, listening, understanding, and reassuring Connor. Loss and grief are hard for everybody, regardless of age. And if you ever lost someone you're close to, this movie is going to ring really hard. So if you're currently grieving the loss of a loved one, maybe not watch this one. It might not help, or it could help work out all those feelings you're feeling. So do what you think is best if you're still grieving. After Connor tells his story, his grandma finds him sleeping on the yew tree, the very poisonous one, and they rush to the hospital, for this is his mom's last night. While on their way, they get stopped at a train track and it's raining. And in the background, everything becomes a watercolor. Keep in mind, throughout this movie, his mom, Connor, and all the stories have been done in a watercolor. Connor may have told his story and his truth, but this is the story of Connor and his grandma coming together because of their love for one person and their grief that they know she doesn't have much time. In the last scene, you see the mom look up and see the monster, who gives this affirmating face that he's with Connor and with her. You later see Connor go through his mom's old art and sees the monster, the same monster that was with her when her dad died. This movie is a bit heavy-handed sometimes with its metaphors, but just because it's heavy-handed doesn't make it bad. It's beautifully told. All the acting in this is superb. The music's good, the artwork is fantastic, and it's based on a book written by Patrick Ness. Patrick Ness was also one of the screenplay writers for this movie, and the director was J.A. Bayham? I am most definitely sure I butchered that pronunciation. He directed Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and according to IMDb, the first 2 episodes of the Lord of the Rings series Amazon is making. Absolutely love this movie. It's not a movie I watch a lot because I don't want to cry all the time, but it's a movie I recommend all the time to people. I just warn them they will cry. As always, there is a link down in the description where you can rent or buy this movie. And until next tea time, have a relaxing cup of tea and watch a movie.